Ahoy friends, this is Frankie Day back again on YouTube. Once more, I have another build here I'd like to share. I've done this in years past. Another one of my collections from the annals of the time capsule. This is again was built from blue foam board, sheet plastic, wood, and using the same plan references as that of Paul Matt. The same issue that I used on my KC-97G straddle tanker I just showed you a while ago. This one here was done 37 years back, and it's a Douglas C124 Globe Master in a scale of 1/72nd scale. This is a big airplane, very big. And it took a lot of patience for me to build this thing, and I finally got it right, using templates for wing ribs and also formers for the fuselage. In some areas I've done this a little differently in this airplane here. What I've done with a blue foam board is that I hollowed it out. The fuselage is done by two sections. You got a left section and a right section. I made sure that the whole fuselage in its entirety was completely formed, shapen. When it was all shapen per templates that I'd used, then using a bandsaw, I cut the fuselage in half. And taking the fuselage in half, using a Dremel tool, I routed out the whole inside of the plane and built me the interior details inside, using sheet plastic and contact cement. And once it was all done, the fuselage was glued back together again using the epoxy. And the whole exterior of the fuselage was using epoxy as well. Here, I'd like to produce my C124-A Globe Master. All scratch built, fellas. It's a biggie. Has day glow orange on the nose. You can see the clamshell nose I built, made from plastic. They move, they fold. I got the ramp that extends back. It comes up. It comes out like this, where you can load up your personnel and any armory that's needed. And the only thing I forgot to do in the kit was put the Matt's decal across the military air transport service across there. I couldn't find any handy, so I always kept this airplane on top of my boxes of collections. Therefore, someday if I run across a military transport service, or I can just go ahead and just use regular letters on there, I can be able to complete the decals on this plane. Now, decals on this aircraft was just used from different parts of kits I had in the past. This is fully scaled 1/72nd scale. The wingspan of that is almost out of a meter. And you get a little closer, has a full cockpit detail that I done in there. This thing is sort of our biggest hitting stuff right now. And it's a big airplane. Top surface. You can see the exhaust anti-glares on there to keep the exhaust soot from the engine cylinders from dirtying up the paint job and painting up the natural aluminum. I had this model sitting top of a stand one time and removed for the stand and put it back in a box. On the other side there's a little rectangle I cut out, and there's a box stand like a slot where the stand can fit right inside there, keep the plane from teetering and rocking and falling down. So I got the stand for it. It's right here somewhere, folks. I just went ahead and put it in the box, keep it getting broken, because I want to do some more finishing on this airplane. Like I say, it needs the Matt's logo on the tail and also on the side of the right and left fuselage halves. Top section here. Your wing walks. You can see your wing walks across there. You get your Dago orange. Now, Globemasters varied somewhat from aircraft to aircraft. Some of them had you had your fuel squids on your wingtips. Some of them didn't. Some of them just had a round wingtip. But for long range, you always had the auxiliary fuel tanks on there. And for personnel, it can carry up to almost 300 people. This airplane brings a lot of memories to me because I flew in one of these back in 1960. No, it was 1958. I joined the Navy. I was 18 years old and went and joined the Navy. And we flew all the way, I was going to my Subic Bay, Philippine Islands. That was my duty station aboard the USS Oxford, JGTR-1. And my orders were to go to Travis Air Force Base, Fairfield, San Francisco, California. I flew all the way from Fairfield, California to Clarkfield, the Philippines, and took a bus from Clarkfield, Philippines to Subic Bay. They call it Old Shaky. I know why. It shakes your kidneys and everything else loose. This thing's a shaker, I'll tell you. We boarded this plane by cargo ramp. I had the clamshell doors opened up. You had the ramp. You walked up a ramp. The airplane has 2 flight decks. You got 1 flight deck. Your major flight deck's here, right across. Boy, this camera. Your first flight deck comes right here, where the series these portholes are at. You got the crew, you got your cargo master on here for guide your armory, tanks, trucks, anything that's needed. It'll go through your cargo ramp up this flight deck. Above it, on this section here, there's a ladder that goes up from that flight deck up to another flight deck up here, which where the passengers are at. Now, it depends on the payload which this airplane's carrying. If it's carrying personnel, in general, on top of this cargo deck, it twices up like an inverted V. And then when you're carrying personnel, the floor is leveled, and you go up this ladder here, all the way up to the flight deck, up to the pilot's compartment. And that deck up there will take you up to the flight deck through there. There's no seats in this thing, nothing but hammocks used with cargo webbing. And there's a ladder way it comes up here, like I mentioned before, from the full flight decks. It goes up to the pilot's compartment. And over here, this section here, I forgot to mention, folks. I don't know if I built it in my model. Yes, I did. Right here, I get a little closer. There's a door right here. It's an elevator. It will come down like this. It'll raise down like this. You can put a Willys Jeep in there, or a howitzer. You can load it up that way. But most of the armory that they use, like tanks, trucks, bulldozers, D9 diesels, even the Polaris missile, anything they can load up through there. And they to accommodate mobile equipment, the top flight deck had to be triced up like this to make room. Now, if it's like I say, if you're transporting personnel like did me and a bunch of other fellas, they bring the flight deck down, you go all the way up to the ladder, and walk up that flight deck, and you sit on a big old, looks like a bench with cargo webbing on there. And it's all interior dark green inside, smells like gas when you first come aboard it. When they start firing up those right cyclone engines, you start getting out the runway, you shake, you can actually see the wings fluctuate through the air turbulence. Well, fellas, it's time to get to shore. Grandpa the clock is giving me the cue. I got a few more seconds here, so I'd like to sign off here, and I got another one coming up after this, and keep you guys busy. And I thank you very much from the bottom of my heart. You guys over your nice comments you've been giving me, and I'll reply the same. Please subscribe, and may God bless, and thank you for tuning in. We'll catch you next time. Bye now.